GIS, first of all, it stands for Geographical Information Systems, and essentially we're a mapping department for Johnston County.
I feel like we surprise a lot of people whenever they ask for something, and we're able to deliver something above and beyond what they expected.
We have to operate with a 0% error rate. We strive for 100% accuracy because we take what we're doing so seriously. We are a hub, a central location to do data for all the different departments and actually map those.
When I began working here, we didn't have a GIS department. I think that was about 1992.
Over the course of 30 years, it has just developed in so many different layers. When you take that data and you can present that in a map form, you get a visual of what that data is talking about. See, a map tells a story. The data that we're working with, that we're editing, gets pushed to the 911 center, and they push it in their system, and it's used for dispatching.
We utilize GIS technology with our CAD system. CAD is computer-aided dispatch. To know which fire department responds to a certain location or which law enforcement or EMS, because it is very map-driven.
Additional information appears that somebody may have been thrown from the vehicle.
We have to look at those not like just polygons and points and lines on a map. We look at it like life and death points.
It's got to be accurate. For instance, you want the closest fire department or EMS or law enforcement coming to your emergency. So if that's not accurate, then we're sending perhaps somebody that's further away. Everybody's life, property depends on the accuracy of the GIS data.
We also show the flood zones, and we map that as well. We get that information when flood zones change.
Probably 75 to 80% of the streams in Johnston County are negatively affected by beaver activity. So sometimes I'm looking at the beaver dams and the water's backed up. I can quickly look at the GIS on the computer screen. So I can say, well, this dam, this area here was fine. It was a bottomland hardwood forest in 2010. Now it's a 20-acre lake. And so what we're doing today is removing beaver dams and trying to drop the backed up water as a result of those dams. Some of these dams are so large and so strong, it takes the explosive to remove them.
Yes, ma'am. This is Joey Smith with the USDA. I'm going to blow a couple, actually 3 dams in Johnston County this morning using explosives. I want to give you my location in case you get any calls. Bingo!
The biggest thing to me that GIS tools offer us is we're so much quicker, so much more efficient. It's always wise to know what your soils are, where your property boundaries are, what the topo's like on a farm before I go. It helps me get in the ballpark when I start.
And then we've had the Heritage Center come in a time or two with very old historical things that they were trying to find.
A couple of years ago, I was contacted by the Triangle Land Conservancy about a site that they had recently acquired conservation easement on. They knew there was a canal that kind of connected 2 places to the Neuse River. Didn't know much about it.
Todd came to us and wanted to know if we knew where a canal was on the Neuse River.
Sam knows how to manipulate all that data, see where the different elevations changed, and actually pinpoint the canal on a map.
It became a collaborative effort in our office.
There was a grist mill there as early as the 1780s, and it was originally owned by the Lockhart family. Back then, it was okay to build grist mills and dam up the Neuse River. Right after the Revolutionary War, the new State General Assembly decided that they wanted to try to open up the Neuse River, sent somebody to destroy the dam. GIS has helped us at the Heritage Center in so many ways, pinpoint and document other historic properties, abandoned cemeteries, historic sites all over Johnston County. I use GIS pretty much every day, or at least every other day.
Board of Elections is a really big one between Senate districts, House districts, precincts, that kind of stuff. So all that stuff is being constantly maintained and edited all the time.
People that move into the county, they send their voter registration application in. I work closely with them to make sure that every voter is in their correct precinct in all the correct districts.
They do something called geocoding. Their goal is to make sure the right people are voting in the right location. They look at your address on the road and determine literally where you lay your head at night. is where you are supposed to vote. There's a lot of analysis of, where are these houses actually located on the boundary line.
On a day-to-day basis, we really never know what we're going to get. For the public that doesn't know what we do or the services that we provide, we are here to assist them. You learn a lot from our Johnstonians when they come in and they've got different things, like especially old cemeteries and things on their property, and they'll tell the history of it, so we get to hear that. At the end of the day, we're all just one team. When we have things where we can collectively work together that way, it's just really wonderful to get all the departments together and come out with a good product.